Oh my god. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I just I don't know. I've like had so many feelings watching The Snowman. I don't even know what to do right now. Okay, so if you haven't watched it yet, you should watch this video. Because I might give away a few spoilers. But I can say this. Moffat, I can't. He's brilliant. He's too brilliant for this. I knew it. I was just talking about this with my friend the other day about how would they explain awesome. Oh man. It's ridiculous. But it was such a good episode. I was like seriously about to freaking throw something at the end because it looked like she was gonna die. Well, she had died technically. And then she came back. He remembered. She goes, because he told her to remember this because he gave her the key. And then she died. And then when she was dying, she goes, "You better run, Chin Boy. Remember me." And then I was like, oh god, he's about to do it. He has to. He's gonna remember. He's gonna remember it now. Then he goes to the funeral, and he sees her name, Clara Oswald. And I freaked out. I was like, what the hell? What's happening now? And in the end, like the real ending of it, when they show Osmond and Clara, she's freaking sitting there. I mean, she's standing at her own grave with a friend or whatever. And oh my gosh, this story was insane though. They had this Salarian woman who I love because she's awesome, and then her wife, which I never made the connection during the Demon Run that was her wife, the human girl. I'm guessing she's human. I'm not sure. I think she is. I think that's cute, but it was intense because for a while I was like, what's gonna happen here? It's kind of confusing. It confused me for a while, like, because in the beginning, Clara, she's kind of like a waitress at this like saloon place, because it's like in Victorian days, and the doctor is freaking. I almost started crying because the doctor was not being the doctor at all. He was being very angry and pissed and all that, and I was like, oh, this is not you. This is so not you. And then we find out the Cillian lady is kind of his friend right now because he's still dealing with the after effects of. Sorry, excuse me. The Angels Take Manhattan. What happened with Amy and Rory. And I was wondering for a while because they still never show. Are they gonna bring back River at all? Because okay, so in this episode, freaking Claire, she kisses him. She kisses him like full on. He's like, you know how when Amy kissed him in that one episode, I think it was like the day before her wedding, she kissed him, and he's all being weird and trying to push her away, and he's like moving around trying to like. He's like, what? You just kissed me. And you're blushing. She goes, and you're blushing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening right now? And then, so he basically, the snowman, as you know, the snow is freaking weird. It's like a memory type or thoughts type kind of snow, special snow, that if you think about the snowman, like they multiply. And then if you wish that they melt, then they melt. Which I thought was interesting, and it's all about this guy who, when he was younger, a snowman talked to him, which is, that's like alarm bells right there. And nobody, like, even, like, saw or paid attention to that fact. That he just freaking listened to a snowman that technically wasn't really a snowman. It was just a snow being weird, that weird-ass snow. And so I was like, what's going on right now? And then you get confused with Claire's character too, because first, in the beginning she's the waitress, and then she stops that job because I guess she was helping the man who owns the pub, for his daughter or whatever to come back. And then she says, I can't stay, I have another job. And he's like, why don't you ever tell us about that job? And so then we find out she's like a governess, I think that's what you call it. Like, she takes care of the children and watches after the children of one of the guys in the town. And I'm like, okay, I'm confused. What's going on right now? So apparently she had 2 jobs. And so she meets the doctor doing her first job. And when she sees the snowman, and she's like, cause he helps her with that. He finds out how to make it stop. And then, for a second anyway. And then she freaking follows him in his little carriage thing. And I was like, what is this? But it's so confusing. And then it was just in me. I was like, Doctor, help me, man, because he's just so sad, you know. And then Claire and him kind of click, and things happen. And she's like, and the Cerulean, I always mess up that word. Cerulean woman. She's talking to the doctor, and it's like, she's like, this always happens. They always ask the question, and then you end up bringing them along on this ride. And she hadn't asked the question until the Cerulean woman made her wife go find the girl and bring her to her. And she's like, you're inquiring about the doctor, like, without not even knowing who he really is. And she's like, he's someone I know who can help. He's a kind man. And she's like, the doctor is not kind. He used to be kind, and he lost people who were very important to him. And he is not the same anymore, or whatever. And so she had to answer all the questions in one word. And in order to get him to help, I was just like, Moffat, you're killing me, man. Just please, you're like hurting my soul right now, man. He freaking, guess what the word was? Pond. And I was like, for a minute I thought it was gonna be river, because the thing where the ice lady was in, it's technically a pond, but I thought of a river for some reason, because I was still thinking about River Song for a minute there. And so, yes, she says pond, and the doctor, because she calls him on the phone, this really lady calls him on the phone, and like, she said pond, and he takes all his classes, he's reading something in the TARDIS, and he's like, And so then they basically, he has to help them, because she freaking said the right word. And then you just find out a lot of neat things, but this was like a really good way to start the second half of the season, because it leads into all the questions about who this souffle girl is. Like, who's Aswin really? Because she died twice. That's impossible. And so I'm really excited to see what happens. Like, but I really want River. Like, in the previews they didn't show her again, but they're married. The Doctor and Rivers aren't married. So how is that gonna work with Oswin Clara Oswin? And so I'm just confused right now. But it was so good, guys. I'm probably gonna watch it again tomorrow. I've recorded, then I'll get it on DVR. Oh my gosh. And what sucked about this was that they showed the whole first half of the season 7, of the series 7, before this episode came on. So right before this episode came on, I was watching the Angels take the hat and bawling my fucking eyes out, because that episode is still so sad. But I need to know. I really want to know if River's coming back, because like, she's like my character, man. Oh, and this other part that like freaking killed me. The Doctor. They had a lot of Sherlock references in this freaking episode, and it was killing me. Because so first, the Cerulean lady and her wife, like, they were like kind of pretending to be Sherlock and Watson. And the evil guy was like, what would Doyle say if he discovered that his character was actually a woman? And so I'm like, okay, wow. And then they showed the lady and her wife. So I remember it before it even showed. I was like, hey, that's the lady. And so And then what happened then was, so, and then the second Sherlock was the Doctor. He was like for all decked out up all decked out in like old Sherlock drab, you know, in the old deerstalker and all the brown and tweed and all that. Like, cause he came to visit the evil guy once he like decided, hey, I need to investigate this or something's gonna happen to people again. Um, and so it was funny. So the guy was like, who's at the door? This guy's being really insistent about coming in, and he won't take no for an answer. He's like, who is it? He's like, Sherlock Holmes. The man looks at him like, what? Then he comes in, he's like, I'm making a duck. He's like, shut up, I'm making a deduction. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm so excited for the rest of the season. It looks amazing. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. Like, I still have my pond filled, man. Can't help it. He keeps putting these freaking things in there that make you miss them, and then you have all these freaking references. Freaking Sherlock. He's like really hurting us, man. It's like we have to wait another damn year for this because of Hobbit things and all that and Star Trek. I'm just excited about everything from Moffat. Killing me, dude. But guys, if you haven't watched it yet, you need to watch it like as soon as possible because it is amazing. It was freaking amazing. A whole hour and 20 minutes. God. So yes, I will see you guys soon. Hope you all had a wonderful Merry Christmas today, whatever. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.